Right.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, let's get rid of this. Share screen. Okay. All right, we can go ahead and call to order.
Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock and I am calling the University Impact District Review Board meeting to order. Our next scheduled business meeting will be Thursday, March 12th, 2026 at 12 p.m. In this building, second floor, room 205. Our next hearing will be Thursday, March 26th, 2026 at 4 p.m. in this room. I need to swear in the staff, Stephanie and Nadine. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Stephanie, can you call the roll, please?
Certainly. No, Mr. Fleming yet. Ms. Gunzelman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublette,
Here.
Mr. Smansky, and Mr. Mather.
Yes.
We do not have Mr. Reeds today, but we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you provide the overview of the hearing format, please?
Yep. So for each case, city staff will present the application materials. Then our applicants will come to the table and be sworn in and then ask if they have any additional materials to present. If there are any public speakers, then they will be sworn in. They can step up to the podium and they'll be sworn in and each given 3 minutes to speak. And then after that, our board members will discuss the case and ask any questions if needed before taking action.
Any persons wishing to address the commission on matters not on the posted agenda are invited to do so. However, the board is not able to undertake extended discussion or act on non-agenda items. The communication should be kept to about 3 minutes or so. Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from January. Has everybody had a chance to look at those minutes? Can I get a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
That was a motion by Mr. Mather, seconded by Ms. Parker. Ms. Gunzelman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublette,
Yes.
Mr. Smansky,
Yes.
and Mr. Mather.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So now we go to our first application.
Yep.
COA 26000081.
Yes.
Nadine is going to present this case.
Okay, Nadine.
So we have 190 King Avenue. It is a request for action. The applicant is requesting a recommendation on variances associated with the demolition of the existing building on site and construction of a new 20-unit short-term temporary residential project that would serve families and patients of the OSU Wexner Medical Center. The requested variances are, bear with me, it's going to take me a minute to go through all of them. We have section 3332.039 R4 residential district to permit a 20 dwelling unit apartment building. Section 332.18D basis of computing area to increase lot coverage from 50% to 65%. Section 3332.21A building lines to reduce the King Avenue building line from 40 feet to 18 feet and the Highland Street building line from 10 feet to 4 feet. Section 332.25, maximum side yards required to reduce total side yard from 10 feet to 9 feet. Section 3332.26, minimum side yard permitted to reduce the west side yard from 5.83 feet to 5 feet. Section 332.27, rear yard to reduce rear yard from 25% of lot area to 3%. Section 3312.49, required parking to reduce parking from 30 spaces to 0 spaces. And lastly, section 3321.05 B12, vision clearance to reduce the 10 by 10 clear vision triangle at Alley and Highland Street to 9 by 9 and to reduce the 30 by 30 clear vision triangle at King Avenue and Highland Street to 4 by 4, reflecting the existing lot grade being 4 feet, give or take, above the CL street grade, and in addition, a proposed patio at the finished floor elevation of the proposed 20 dwelling unit building. The submission includes details on the requested variances in a site plan. Staff analysis is the application was heard most recently by the UIDRB at January 2026 hearing. That's correct.
No, 2025.
2025, okay,
It's this year.
disregard, oh, wow. At the time, the board was generally supportive of the site plan, encouraging the applicant to further develop the porch and landscaping elements at the front of the property. The board also provided feedback on the building design. Staff notes this application is for the variances only. No revised design has been submitted. Application materials from the January 2025 materials can be found on the, which is up right on the screen. The applicant noted that there have been no major design changes since the previous review. The University District Plan recommends lower intensity residential on the site. The proposal is generally inconsistent with those standards. However, this site is included in the second phase of zoning. While the updated zoning requirements have not yet been established, the Columbus Growth Strategy recommends mixed-use 1 on the site, which supports commercial, institutional, and/or multi-unit residential that are 3 to 4 stories tall. The proposal is generally consistent with these recommendations, with the exception of the proposed density. While higher than recommended, staff supports the increased density based on high-quality site and building design, as well as the temporary nature of the proposed use. Regarding the design, the University District Plan recommends that new construction is compatible with the surrounding neighborhood, be of high-quality design and materiality, incorporate features that engage with the street, as well as include gathering spaces and public art. Further, being a corner site, the building should be designed to address both Highland Street and King Avenue. The site should be well landscaped and include street trees in consultation with the city forester. Based on the previously submitted design and current site plan, the proposal is generally consistent with these recommendations, with the exception of no public art being included. Staff continues to encourage the applicant to explore opportunities to incorporate this into the final design. As the requested variances are needed to allow the project to proceed as designed, staff recommends support of the variances. Support of the variances does not constitute final approval of the design. The applicant will need to return to the board for a certificate of approval for the overall project, including building design and site plan. Staff recommendation is support.
Thank you. Would the applicants and the representatives like to approach? Have a seat. If each of you could state your name and affiliation to the project.
My name is Dave Perry. I'm consultant on the zoning aspects of this project for Unver Firth House.
Dustin Todd with Archall Architects. We're the architect for the project.
Megan Unverford Glosser. I'm on the board for the.
Great. If you all could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Does the board have any questions for staff?
My questions are about process. What did the board conclude in in January 2025? Was it a conceptual review?
It was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was just, we gave feedback and they
Mhm.
never came back.
Yep, let's see. You all at January 2025 were generally supportive of the site plan and the design. There were some comments recommending that they further develop the porch and landscaping elements at the front. But what they're presenting today is, I think, the applicant could speak to it, but I don't believe it has changed at all from then. So that's why we included this, so you could see kind of
Yeah.
where all that was before, but they will have to come back for approval of the design.
Thanks.
Great. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on this application? You can go ahead and present your report.
Yeah, thank you. This was submitted for zoning variance review only. Dustin will be back additional times to talk architecture and specific materials with you. I do need to update the board and staff, though, that there have been, since the review board application was submitted, there's been some discussion with staff, my discussion with staff, and including as of about 2 days ago, that has changed the variance citations. It has not changed the project, but it has changed the citation. So I've prepared a list of what was submitted and what is current, if staff and the board would like that.
Are they, are they the same variances? It's just the sections are different, or what has changed?
Some of them are wording, Stephanie, and some of them are additions.
Good point. I don't know.
And you said the actual project, like the site plan has not changed. This is just a review.
Site plan has not changed.
Okay. Can you talk us through these?
Yep. Board, you want me to go over these?
If you don't mind, yes, please, thank you.
So number one, the use district citation is the same, 20-unit apartment building in the R4 district. Why that's good. Okay, number two, staff asked, it's the same, same building coverage, but request to cite a different section. So it's the university overlay section to increase from 25 to 65%. The left citation is the general basis of computing area section of the residential districts that was to permit 65% coverage. Number three, building lines. King Avenue is a thoroughfare plan street. The code would require using the thoroughfare plan width on the left, which I cited 40 feet. Staff has told me they want me to cite it as a 27 feet to 18 reduction rather than a 40 feet to 18 reduction. That's fine.
And when you say staff, do you mean building and zoning services?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The section citation on 1, 2, 3, 4 maximum side yards has changed. There's a recent code change that has made that 33, 32, 25 total combined side yards rather than maximum side yards title, but the variance is the same. Same thing on the minimum side yard section change, and that is the east side yard, the Highland side yard, 5 feet to 4 feet. Rear yard is the same. Residential district citation and adding the university planning overlay citation that has a standard of not only rear yard, but also the amount of green space physically behind the most rear facing plane of the university of the building. So that is the building is 5 feet from the rear property line, and that is all pavement. Required parking is the same, 30 to 0. The vision clearance citations, I'm on page 2, is the same. And then staff requests to add maximum floor area as noted. That reflects the three-story building. And again, the building has not changed. And then adding 2 sections from general design standards where the building exceeds 2.5, the length of the building exceeds 2.5 times the width. It is 3.1 times. And we may need to talk about this a little bit with Dustin on the planning overlay limits the projection of a porch or patio to 8 feet from the front of the building. And we're at about 16, but I may not have understood the grade issues. So that let's talk about that with Dustin if we need to.
I think maybe just to step back a little bit to kind of introduce the project, because it's been a little while since we were here. We might go back through what we've been doing the past year and just kind of introduce Unpreferred House to anybody who isn't quite as familiar with what will be happening on this site. So since we were here last, we've been working with building and zoning staff on these variances, submitting our initial site compliance plans, getting their feedback. And then we had also been going to the University Area Commission for their zoning review and for their approval specifically on these variances, which we did receive approval on last week.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's good. The city building services staff supports this variance request. So
And, so what we're looking to do here today is specifically review the variances themselves because they do impact, building footprint, and building size. We wanted to make sure that those would be approved moving forward before pushing forward too much on design, because if those did change, the design would change significantly. So that's why we're kind of asking to split them up. And overall, I think to understand a little bit what Unpreferred House does, I don't know if you want to give a little elevator summary.
Yeah, I can give a quick talk. So, Unpreferred House was started in 1989, in honor of my dad when he passed away. He was a cardiologist at the University Hospital, and had done undergrad there, medical school at the university, all the way through working at the University Hospital. After he passed away, my mother, who's here, and some other doctors, got together and put together the Unpreferred House in memory of him. They house patients and families of those patients, for free while they're staying at the University Hospital for care. Primarily right now it is heart transplant patients, but when space is available, they do open up to other transplant and other areas of the hospital to serve those patients as well. We always have a wait list, and so we've been looking to expand for years, and this is the way we've finally figured out to try to make that work and to serve and house more people.
Thank you.
So,
I mean, you had been in front of us before with a previous design. Is it mostly the same design in terms of mass and bulk?
So from a massing perspective, yes, we've been working on some of the finishes, some of the feedback we received previously. We had stone on the lower floor previously. We're looking to update that to brick. We actually do have some printouts if you do want to see just what the brick would look like, that we'd be happy to get your feedback on today. But the main thing that we wanted to discuss today was the variances themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only ask insofar as obviously, as you said, the variances are tied to the form of the building. And I mean, at this point, I don't care about brick or stone or colors, but just the general mass and form of the building as it sits on the site and relates to the city itself. I mean,
yeah, the mass and the footprint of the building on the site is the same as it was last time we were here.
Can you go to the street view one more time? Do you guys need another one of these? Is there enough?
Yeah. More than.
Yep. 1 second. Wrong way. I can drive. There we go. It's this guy on the corner here.
Yes, I remember the tree aspect. So we would vote, just to be clear, we would vote a yes or no on all of these variances, or is it one vote per, like, would we break them into different
We would,
variances?
we would do a recommendation for all of them unless like there was issue with the specific ones, we could pull them out, but generally we would do it all together.
to be clear, we're not voting in approval or disapproval.
rec-
We're voting in
it's a
support.
recommendation.
Yeah. I mean, they're all reasonable to me. I mean, I think from my perspective, they essentially reflect the changes necessary to the site for the design you showed previously. I mean, it's a good mission, but even that aside, like, I think the bulk of the building, the way it sits on the site, it's sort of compatible with the neighborhood. It's compatible with the development across the street. It's completely reasonable. So I don't have any issues. I'd support these.
And the variances just reflect the project.
Yeah.
Does the setback from High Street include the front patio?
So it's
I'm
to,
sorry, King Street. King Avenue.
Yep.
I'm all over the place.
It is to the front of the building. So the patio itself is the grade, as you can see from the street view, the grade kind of ramps up
Mhm.
so that the patio just sits to the front of the building. So no, it's not to the patio. It is to the building itself, which we've aligned with the front porch of the neighboring building so that it's not sticking out past, the kind of common line of the houses down the street.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things we talked about when y'all came in front of us last year.
I would just comment that in terms of the University Area Commission, the votes were unanimous. Good deal of enthusiasm for the project, and particularly for the sensitivity in mass and positioning to the surroundings. For example, maintaining the frontage line of the houses on the block. So a good deal of enthusiasm from the University Area Commission.
And that was just recent, Tim. We were there last Wednesday, the 18th, for the full commission meeting.
Yes. And I think I probably mentioned before, but I will mention just special interest. I live on this block, so it's of particular concern. But Unverfurth House continues to be a good neighbor to Dennison Place.
Ryan, any comments? Emma?
I was just hoping that we could maybe go over the two variances that you have on the first page, just so that way I can understand them from a visual standpoint. I just was wondering, the one where it says minimum side yard permitted to reduce the east yard from 5 feet to 4 feet.
The
Oh.
Highland Street side.
So I wanted to see what it was now, just to. We're talking about this side street right here.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, where Stephanie has the arrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
And then. So is it like you still have a little. I was just trying to see, to understand it visually. So it'd be on this side right
So
here.
this is the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That's the grass.
Okay, so we still have a little bit of, okay, sweet. All right. And then the second part was the landscape area and treatment to reduce landscape area behind the most rear portion of the building from 10% to 0, which I think you had said that it was already paved now.
It will be paved with this building. Then, yeah, thank you, Stephanie. It's the 5 feet
It'll be a sidewalk.
north of that north wall of the building.
That was one of the initial comments, and I think our first review here was we had a previous plan where it was pulled much further forward to allow for the required rear yard. But part of the feedback was one, not wanting to stick out beyond the neighboring buildings. That's why we pushed it back to a line. And, also, in this area, most of the buildings, if it was a house, having a rear yard makes a lot of sense. You want some space back there, but for a building of this use, the space in the front is a lot more valuable to the people that are going to be inhabiting, these units, and also just, I think, to the neighborhood in general.
And right now, really everything behind the building is paved except for kind of this mound.
Mhm.
So in the new design, this would basically be all building except for a sidewalk here.
Mhm. I do think I remember my comments from last time being a hope that some of the larger trees would be able to be saved, but I understand that adding more units into the space is important to be able to house more people who are in need. So
I can't tell on that King Avenue frontage, but the trees on Highland are city trees. They're within the right of way, so they will remain.
those will be
Yeah.
able to stay. Okay, those were my questions. Thank you.
Great. Daniel, anything?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll motion approval.
Second.
That was a,
Right?
Was my second, yes.
that was,
Sorry, you both couldn't hear.
do you want to do the?
Sure.
This is on the February 26th list of variances, right?
Yeah, so could we make the motion, to say
The
as
amended.
amended based on the list that was provided today, and then I'll make sure that this is the list that's reflected in their letter of recommendation.
Agreed.
All right, Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Ms. Gunselman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublett,
Yes.
Mr. Samansky,
Yes.
and Mr. Matheson.
Yes.
Perfect. Variances are recommended.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to application COA 2600123. Staff, could you give us your report?
Indeed. This is 1576 North High Street. This is one of the gateway spaces. The applicant is requesting review and action on exterior building alterations and an expanded patio. The scope of work includes like-for-like replacement of facade elements as needed, moldings, panels, baseboards. They are repainting the exterior, replacing an existing storefront window with a walk-up carryout window on the south elevation, replacing windows on the south elevation with operable windows in the existing openings, replacing double doors on the west elevation with windows and trim to match the adjacent windows in an existing opening, new patio fencing, expanding the patio to wrap around the south elevation, and installing 2 TV monitors on the south elevation for new patio space. The submission includes floor and site plans, elevations, window and door schedules, and material specifications. Staff notes that the application was originally submitted to include a further extended patio to the south as well as signage. Those have been removed from the application at this time, and any approval will not include those elements. The board can provide conceptual feedback as those elements may still appear in the application materials, but the applicant will have to request approval for those scope items separately. So here is our application materials. Let me actually pull up the street view just so we can all orient ourselves to which space we're talking about. Since there are several, we are talking about this space here. This one. All right. So they're going to be doing interior modifications. This really shows the patio layout. Again, if you'd like to provide some conceptual feedback, but this part of the patio is what we would be voting on today. So right now there is this patio and they're wanting to wrap around the south elevation as well. This is that extended patio space that I mentioned in the staff report that has been removed from this application. Let's see, what else do we have here? Mostly interior stuff. And then here you can see they do show some places where they will be putting signage. This sign has been removed and has been switched to a blade sign. At this point, we do believe that we'll be able to staff approve the signage with that change because they did have too many signs on one elevation. So you all probably will not see the signage package, but so kind of disregard those elements here. They are painting the facade in kind of a dark gray and black scheme. And then we have the door and window schedule. Here, so this is that south elevation again. Here are those 2 TVs, and then these are the windows that are going to be changed to be operable, but it'll be within that same opening. This is the west elevation. Right now, this is a double set of doors that they'll be changing to be windows to match the others. And then here is further down on that south elevation is where they'll be taking out a storefront piece and putting in that pickup window. And then here, all of that is in color. And then these are just the sections for the storefront, and then we have the material specifications. So with that, the University District Plan recommends a variety of uses on this site, that storefronts should utilize high-quality materials and include a high level of transparency, and the outdoor dining should be compatible with the design of the associated structure. The proposal is consistent with these guidelines. However, the plan also states that television screens are not appropriate in outdoor dining areas. The proposal is not consistent with this guideline. As such, staff recommends conditional support, with the condition being the removal of the television screens from the patio space.
Is the applicant, would you like to come to the table, please? Thank you. Hi.
y'all.
Could you state your name and your connection to the case, please?
Yes, Richard Addington. I'm the project manager from CDO Group for Doghouse and the franchisees.
Great. And then can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Is there any questions from the staff on this case? Or from the board for the staff on this case? Let me see that. Any members of the public that would like to speak? Okay, you can continue to present the project, please.
All right. As she had stated that we are going to, we're requesting to paint the west and what they call the south one areas will remain the brick on the south two that is existing. And we're going to repair portions of the facade. A lot of it's in good shape, but there's salt damage along the bottom. We're going to put an actual 6-inch black tile along the back. It doesn't look like that anymore. It's very colorful now.
Yeah, it is.
But there, that's got a good picture. But I also marked up, I don't know if I submitted it to Stephanie or not, but I had marked up some of the molding and the panel areas that would be replaced. I printed off if y'all want to see that as well.
That will be like for like though, right?
Yes, yes. I didn't know how many folks would be here. I only printed 3 off, sorry.
Okay, we can share.
Thank you.
But the whole thing about being able to repair the facade is, obviously your design board and everything had come up with this for the previous tenant. So we wanted to kind of maintain that, repair as needed. And then, obviously paint. We do 2 signs on the south side and then do the blade and sign on the west side. I did hear we were wanting to do 2 TVs in that patio area. Did I hear that the TVs would be nixed?
I think you heard that staff didn't particularly.
Oh,
like them.
okay. Sorry,
I mean, I tend to agree with staff or whatever, so it'll depend on how the other board members feel.
And it's also the patio. And is there landscaping along with this, or is it just the patio and the fencing for the patio?
It's just the exterior alterations in the patio.
Okay.
Yeah, the tree that's in down by the south two, that would remain. We wouldn't do anything with that.
Good.
And then those flower pots and stuff are already part of the other bar. One thing with I know we had nixed out, removed the extended patio out of there with the rolling planters and that for now.
Mhm.
The seating that's actually in front of the gazebo,
Mhm.
that already has a giant planter.
Mhm.
We want to leave that planter because honestly, with the police trailer that's going to have to remain, nobody's going to want to sit there. So we would actually just leave that and keep that upgraded with whatever flowers y'all recommend. And then the rolling planters, basically they put those rolling planters there as if there would be a party, they would close it off and it would be a party in that gazebo. But most of the time, I'd say probably 90% of the time, it would actually be open all the way through where they would be able to traffic through and go through the gate. But Doghouse is also willing to, if y'all just want to stick with the patio that is on the layout and not do that extended patio and leave the gazebo as is, they have no problem with that as well.
Stephanie, so that patio though isn't there now. It's
This.
the one in the front, but that is part of the application and you're okay with that versus the extended?
Yes, this part would be new patio space. So if we look
Yeah.
at if we go back to the front here. So right now there's only patio
Yep.
here and they're wanting to wrap it.
Mhm.
We're good with that. And that is a part of this application. Everything, like all of this is what they removed. So this is the new part that is in that we are
Which
supportive of.
that part's permanent, and it sounds like, if I'm understanding correctly, the other part, that structure's already there. The extended patio is movable planters to.
They were trying to capture the.
There's some additional
There's-
fencing and there's a
There is.
gate
Okay.
and
Side, I think.
Okay.
there's just some language in that, this was in originally, we talked to the applicant about it and sent them the plan language. It was just our opinion that we had quite a few questions about it, just, from the fencing being okay with like public service and whether, and part of it not having a gate and part of it having a gate. And we just had a lot of questions about it. So, and I know they have run into some issues like, kind of some hurdles in getting opened. And so we thought that that might delay it. So we figured maybe let's just pull it out and work on those items and
Is
move
it
forward.
all on the Gateway property? None of it extends past the right of way, right?
No, I don't think so.
Can you do the street view again for me? Sorry,
Mhm.
I want to look at it. To the right. Can you go to like the previous, like walk forward a little bit?
So it's enclosing the patio on the other side of
Yeah.
the place where they
Yeah.
have live.
So
bands and
that
stuff.
gazebo that's there, that remains as is.
Mhm.
The only thing
the
would be
seating
at the
comes out
back of
from
it.
But the seating gets demolished from it, right? Or removed?
No, we would leave it as is.
I think they were just trying to capture it as
The-
part.
They were basically trying to enclose it so that if, somebody wanted to do a birthday party out there, they could roll the planters closed and close it off, and have that party in there.
It's a lot
Um,
tighter than what the plane.
Yeah, so what is in the application today would be the patio space wrapping. How far out does it go? Um, However far this is. Third.
I mean, it's gotta be
Some of it.
6 feet, because that says 36 inches walkway, and you got the back plus, I mean,
And then, so the patio coming this way, we'll say 6 feet is what's in the application. What is not in the application is the further extension here, which would be those planters that could move and then the fencing at the back part of it. That is not a part of this application.
I mean, the whole thing's a bit of a mess ever since they put in that gazebo, and I get why they did it, because that whole area suffers for traffic because first row of retails put stuff on the public way. Like the minute you put it down an alley, it dies. But I don't know. I mean, I guess where I'm at, don't love this. Like having to go through the fenced area to the front door is not great from a design perspective. I think where I would be is, I think you gotta terminate the patio and you can start it again here, but you need to keep the corner open. Like you shouldn't go through a waste wall fence to get to the front door to a public place of business. But as a sort of trade-off, I would be okay capturing, like if you did the line, if it was open to here, like I would be fine capturing that on an event basis.
So
Because this is,
the south patio would cut off the pass through?
I think, yeah, I mean, it's the pass-throughs there now. They're gonna narrow it if you put in this patio.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, the whole thing's kind of stupid anyway when they built this.
Uh-huh.
Like you can come this way, like this is the primary walk, and they've kind of necked down the whole thing because they're struggling. Like there's the patio from Pazuelas, and they've done some stuff further down.
Oh my God. Ah.
The front door, which is what they
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, I just think it's weird to like, you're gonna go through like a waist-high gate to
Right.
get to the front door. Like it's not a great design.
What do you think about that?
I agree, but I mean, I can't argue with it, because when I saw, they're like, well, it's got a gate at the front already. Well, it ends at the end of the building.
Yeah.
That has no bearing on the double-sided doors anyway, because it has two double doors on each side. I had suggested that they did away with the two seats in front of the entrance. these guys, this is one of the first concepts they've done actually on a college town.
Mm.
And I don't think that they really understand how many kids are going to be coming and standing there and how compact that's going to be.
I mean, no one's gonna
Um,
want to sit there. I mean, you're gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, all that housing is behind there anyway. And I just think that they're going to bottleneck themselves. They're huge if they put the seats there. And I agree with taking that gate out and just having it open, free to there. And if they want a gate beside the other chairs, yeah.
Bring up, I mean, even with it's how you're getting to those patios. I mean, there's one door on the High Street side, but it looks like those double doors are service doors, not really like,
Yeah.
so then there's no way to get to the other patio without going through the main entrance where people are coming and going, and you don't seem like you'd be bringing food and drinks through the front door, because then you're outside the patio. Then you're outside the patio within, you're in violation of liquor law. And so it's a,
These
those seem like,
Those are the doors that are right beside the kitchen that's going to service that back patio. And then that single door is going to service the
Okay.
front patio. And then that vestibule there is just going
people
to
are
be their main
coming out of, I
entrance.
thought those looked like steel doors with no windows. And
No, they'll be vestibule doors with windows. And the ones that where she has her icon already, those are existing,
Mhm.
and they're all glass, just have frosted on them right now. So we're just going to take the frost off and
Oh, okay.
and
it's just, it's, yeah, I mean, I guess you have to be serving on the patio, and then you're just there. You can't get back. You can't get back into the building from that patio without going back outside the gate into the main end, which is a little odd for most patio situations, because you're not going to go into the kitchen. So I think that's probably why they're putting that gate where they are, but that doesn't make sense either.
yeah.
So
Well, one, I just love that they're even thinking about this space. It's been really difficult for renters to be able to stay in this space for a while. And if, to me, having two TVs in this area, like if that encourages more students to come and sit on the patio, then you would have my vote on that, because really I just want more people to go to this. It's too cool not to. The pass-through area, I agree with Keone about maybe just extending that and not having a pass-through walk area right there, and maybe just, in my opinion, adding more seating. The enclosure of those tables, those picnic tables, they used to do really cool stuff out there and have like live bands, and it used to get pretty crowded.
that's one of the
But
things they were talking about, because they were talking about, well, we'll gut everything out there. It's like, listen, you have power. I was like, you can literally put
Absolutely.
karaoke out there if you
Yes.
wanted to.
Yeah,
you
they've
know.
had a lot of different bands come, and they've been able to pack it, and it's been really nice. I am curious to know if it was just owned by the bar, or by the restaurant, or the,
It's all owned by the developer, so I think it's the kind of leasing arrangement.
So
that they've got.
what Steiner had stated was this gazebo is for doghouse. And
Okay.
that's where they came up with the fencing it in. And I was like, I think it's stupid to fence it in. I
Yeah.
was like, I think the concept, leaving it open,
If they
and-
can sit in on one side, so then that way they could control like the food and beverage aspect of it, I do get that. And having it be the access of doghouse, I understand that part, so I would be open to that, but
Sure.
I agree with the gate, just for the front entrance, but that's my opinion.
They're fencing it in so they can serve alcohol.
Right. But only if fencing it on one side is, I was, like, if you were to fence it in on
Yeah.
the
On
walkway
right,
side
on
where
the public.
Consuelos is, yeah. So. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope,
it's going to be awesome. I've gone to a couple in Texas and a couple in California, and it's They've got some of the best breakfast burritos I've ever had. Those things are massive, but, you know, uh, they originally, they wanted to put, uh, 3 TVs on the front of the building and 1 right by the double doors. I was like, that's right at an intersection. No way. I was like, you guys are going to have accidents because people are going to be sitting there watching OSU or whatever games on.
Yeah, I could see
know?
the two and like the two TVs where the existing gazebo structure is, just for people to be able to watch the game on game days, but that would be my vote, so.
You two have any opinions?
I don't know. I mean, the whole patio just seems so fun. It's so. I wish we had a site plan that showed what the distance from the building to the patio is and the width, so what that pass through is. Because if that's not, if that's not there on a daily basis, closed through, and it's like 3.5 feet, it's gonna feel.
It's actually 3'10". So it's just under 4 foot.
I mean,
So.
I mean, I wish Carrie was here a little bit from like that. To me, in a public space, as a pass through between a fence and a gazebo is gonna feel
Right.
very strange. No?
It doesn't make any, no, I agree with you. This plan makes no sense the more I look at it. It's so complicated. Like, I guess that'd be my,
I mean,
my
I think
summary feedback.
I guess,
Make it simple.
sort of addressing what you were saying, Daniel and Ryan as well. I mean, there's no reason why we can't ask the applicant to come back with a better site plan, because I think you have a point that you can't, from this, you can't also tell like how much space is there to the south, between the gazebo and Cazuelas, right? Like, we're looking at this isolated as far as the front of the restaurant goes, but we don't have a good sense of how that whole space is going to feel.
Yeah. And
And, and I think
I mean,
it's pretty tight as you move back. And so there might be a decent argument for what they're doing, but in the absence of a drawing that shows that, we can't even really
Yeah.
consider it.
now could we, and you said, I don't know where you are, it's trying to open, I mean, we could approve the building alterations with the exception of the patio redesign, the current patio stays, and then you would have to come back for any changes to the patio.
That would
Is
be my recommendation, is that we pull the patio portion
that
out.
completely out?
Um,
And that will change my mind on the TV. I'm not against the TVs. I'm not for it, but once again, if that spatial isn't correct, how you're watching those, if you're sitting right here and it's like this, then that TV's not being any use whatsoever. Because, and you're also putting those 2 TVs where there's like 6 people sitting, unless we're having all these people standing, but then they're also standing right adjacent to the TV. And
I mean, I'm supportive of the modifications to the building, the repairs, the paint, the changes to the windows and the doors. Those are all fine. I don't support the TVs, and I think Ryan's got a point, because even if you want to make an argument for them, it's going to depend on the configuration of the patio and the seating.
So someone could make a motion to approve the application as amended to remove the patio space and the TVs. And then they could always re-propose the TVs as a part of returning for the layout of the patio space, so that at least they can get started on the exterior alterations and have that front patio as is to use in the interim.
stated.
You want to just write that down?
Motion by Stephanie.
Does that work to?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Our biggest thing is, we're working on the inside now. So we're not going to even touch the outside until next month anyway. So, yeah, we can come back and I can resubmit for the patio, tell them, what you all's
And I
thoughts
think
were.
Yanni's point is really showing it to the other, the whole spatial of that alley, because it you had two walkways, now you're trying to narrow it to one, like understanding that and how
Well,
public moves in and out of there. Cause I think to the public survey, I mean, even though it's private land, I mean, you want to have a safe exit. There are other businesses back there.
Indeed.
There's,
And it might be helpful when you come back for the patio to either have a representative from Doghouse or the landlord here to talk about like, because I know you mentioned in email that like Doghouse had negotiated this layout with the landlord and they were all fine with it, but it might just be helpful to have one of them here to talk about how they got to whatever the next version of it will be, just to answer those specific questions.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it sounds like we have some consensus. Can I get a motion for the case?
motion to approve with the following amendments that the TVs and additional patio are removed from the application and applicant would return later for any of those future additions.
Okay, can I get a second?
Yeah, I second.
That was a motion by Mr. Smansky, seconded by Ms. Parker. Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Ms. Gunzelman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublette,
Yes.
Mr. Smansky,
Yes.
and Mr. Mather.
Yes.
Motion carries. So I'll send you an email tomorrow with all of that in summary and then what we need next steps to get you your actual written approval, because you'll need that before you can go to BZS for any permits you need. And then I'm not sure when the application deadline is for the next meeting, but I'll send you that tomorrow as well. Usually folks get an extra week if they come to the previous month's meeting. So I'll send you all the deadlines and you guys can submit whenever you're ready.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too. Okay. So I believe that brings us to the staff approved applications. Is there anything specific we should be concerned about, or you have questions that you'd like to bring to our attention?
Let me refresh my memory on some of these. Let's see. This was a sign, wall sign. This company does have, they were talking about doing an awning as well. We haven't received that yet, so this was just for the wall sign. Let's see. This was for the new beer stube site. It's just some rear of the property cleanup. There's some existing fencing that never had a COA, and then two new AC units within that fencing. So this was all pretty much just legitimize.
On King.
Yeah, this was just pretty much all legitimizing existing conditions. This was just refacing this sign here. Just it's the same sign structure. It's just a new cabinet face. This one we had this applicant a few months ago. This was the one where we had the weird condition about the sight line on the windows. They just wanted to add 3 additional windows. They have a bay window. They wanted to do those with the same window that you all approved. So we just went ahead and staff approved that as a separate application. And then this is that duplex that was preserved as a part of the Summit Up Campus Summit Methodist project. They, as they got into it, decided they needed to replace all the windows, but their existing white vinyl windows that they're replacing with white vinyl windows, it's all going to be the same configuration. If it's a casement, it'll stay a casement. So we staff approve that as well. That's all.
I need a motion to approve.
I motion to approve.
Second.
That was a motion by Ms. Parker, seconded by Mr. Mather. Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Ms. Gunzelman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublette,
Yes.
Mr. Smansky,
Yes.
and Mr. Mather.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So that brings us to other business, which is elections of chair and vice chair.
Is it that time again?
We're actually a month late.
Not come today.
Yeah, that's, I was just wondering, you made a point of
He
commenting.
made a point of coming.
Well, Carrie on the other.
On the other hand, Carrie elected not to come today.
Well, that's not gonna work out well for him.
So I think he can.
He has not expressed to me a desire to not continue serving in the chair role.
Too bad.
Have you expressed? no
Although
willing-
Kiani is sitting in the chair seat, so.
No, I,
Have you expressed, Lori, that this is not something you wish to continue?
Oh, I just don't want to be chair. I'm
I
okay
think,
being.
I mean, the chair, I think, has to kind of shepherd the whole thing, which means you have to be a little less outspoken in your opinions. I would rather be outspoken in my opinion.
I think that's a very good point. Because it's challenging not to be outspoken.
Yeah.
So you're okay with vice chair?
I'm okay with vice chair. But if someone else would like to take that role so I can be more outspoken, I'm happy with that.
Well, I mean, no,
But we have enough architects. We have,
Yeah.
so.
anyone want to be vice chair?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Everybody's standing up.
I think I would elect you again as vice chair, so. Anybody else want to second that?
I will second that.
Sweet.
All right.
I'm fine with, voting Carrie as,
Yeah, I'm good
chair.
with that.
You snooze, you lose. He wasn't here, he remains chair. Unless anybody else has anybody else they'd like to elect.
I'm good.
Can someone second that?
I'm good with that.
I'll second it.
That's great.
That was a motion by Ms. Parker, seconded by Ms. Gunzelman for Mr. Reeds to continue serving as chair for 2026 and Ms. Gunzelman to continue serving as vice chair. Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Ms. Gunzelman,
Yes.
Ms. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Sublette,
Yes.
Mr. Smansky,
Yes.
and Mr. Mather.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you.